everybody to our Ayurveda talk. We're talking today about the bladder and the urinary tract, some of the things that happens and how Ayurveda deals with it. So I am Marie, an Ayurvedic health practitioner, and I like to bring a lot of information to you about some of the issues that take place that Ayurveda has simple solutions for. So one of the things that happens as we a lot of times get older, or if you're dealing with a lot of stress, you can have the urinary incontinence. Okay, so it is a vata disorder. What does that mean? It means that the qualities of vata, ether and air, that's what vata is, ether and air, they start to increase. They start to become excessive. The qualities of vata are harsh, they're depleting, dry, they're going to increase and cause weakness of the muscles. And so if there's weakness of the muscles, you don't have the ability to hold anything in. So the bladder and the sphincter specifically become weak and uncontrolled. And I can tell you, I have had 3 children and I don't have the same muscles that I used to from my bladder, for sure. So they become weak and uncontrolled, and a person may lose voluntary control over time of the urination. And a lot of people will go and get surgery for this. Another cause of incontinence, especially in the West, is frequent use of restrooms. So if you go too often to the bathroom, you're actually going to increase that problem. Interesting, isn't it? Kind of like chapstick. If you're putting chapstick on all the time, you make it so that your body doesn't produce natural oils on the lips. Same for your skin. Okay, so when people see a restroom, they want to use it. And especially if you have issues with the bladder and IBS and things like that, another issue that can cause problems. And these people will often feel like they have to go even if they don't need to use it. And I have said that when I teach class, I will tell people I have to go, even if it's only 3 drops. I have to go because sometimes anxiety can make you feel like you have to go to the bathroom. It can cause constriction of the muscles in the sphincter. It's a problem. It's a problem. So, or there's the thought of, I'm in a place that I don't know. I better use the restroom in case there isn't another restroom that I can use. So the bladder muscles become weak and they lose the capacity to retain large amounts of urine and pass it out when only done when it's necessary. So urinary incontinence is more common among women than men. That's also because of having children and also because the urethra is shorter for women. So anatomically speaking, the biology of women is the urethra is shorter. So if a woman coughs or sneezes or there's any kind of strain, even laughing can cause some leakage from the bladder of urine. And this disorder can be controlled by certain herbs and also doing oil enemas. They're also called bastis. And there are certain yoga postures that help. Certain mudras like mulabandha and other postures are like forward fold, shoulder stand, and plow. Those all help with the incontinence. The simple remedies of herbs that are typically used for this is ashwagandha, bala. Those are stabilizing and very calming for vata in general, and vidari, also very helpful. And you can put those together, a little bit more ashwagandha compared to the other 2. Also, if you eat a handful of white sesame seeds with a little bit of jaggery, which is a natural brown sugar, it will help strengthen the bladder and correct incontinence. So that is Ayurveda's way of dealing with incontinence, but there are some other issues that can happen with the bladder. And so the bladder can become distended when a person doesn't pass urine. and it may be due to restriction in the urethra or enlargement of the prostate gland for men, and or perhaps a stone, a urinary stone. Not good, very painful. So there's a lot of causes. Um, so what are some of the things that Ayurveda can do to help with that? Well, they have this super simple practice where you take 2 towels or sponges, you dip one in hot water and the other one in cool water. About every minute, you alternate placing them on the bladder area. This alternation of hot and cold stimulates the bladder, and the person can then pass urine more easily. So it's going to help them relax and then pass. Also, doing hot and cold compresses is very, very supportive. And there are certain herbs that are going to be better, and you can make them into a paste and place it on the area directly on the skin where the bladder is usually distended. So it's become weak and it's distended. And you leave it for about a half an hour before taking the paste off. And also that restriction can be caused by large prostate gland, and there are herbal remedies for that. You'll need to reach out to me for that. There's actually, Ayurveda has a really great prostate formulation that you can get. I've purchased it from Banyan Botanicals. Wonderful. Cystitis is another thing that causes burning urination. And to relieve this, you want to drink coriander tea or cilantro juice or fennel tea. You could do them combined, the fennel and the coriander. Or you make a tea of equal portions of them. Like I said, coriander, cumin, and fennel. It's called the CCF tea, equal parts. It is going to be great for relieving burning, any kind of burning in the body, but also it's going to help promote digestion. It's really good for irritation that might be going on with the bladder. And other things that might happen is there is a bladder condition where the sphincter loses its strength and tone. We talked a little bit about that in incontinence. So then the bladder then leaks. And like I said, it's more common with women, and women need to really take into consideration there are some simple things to do, like the sesame seed with jaggery, and also followed by a half a cup of warm water to wash it down. Very simple, and what it does is it helps bring tone back to the bladder. You want to do it about twice a day until your condition is better. Lots and lots of information, further information about prostate problems. That's a whole nother talk, but it is one of the causes of bladder issues. But Ayurveda has really simple stuff to help the prostate stuff as well. So we'll do another talk on that another day. But right now we're going to get started with our Ayurvedic practice. So let's get started. Thank you guys for coming for the talk, and please subscribe. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week for our next talk.